Hare Krishna. Good morning, dear devotees. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. I wasn't planning to make an announcement, but then a thought just occurred to me that I probably should remind everyone that particularly Pankajangri Prabhu is in a very precarious situation, and requests have gone out to devotees worldwide for continuous prayers, kirtans, and whatever you can possibly do in the association of other devotees or alone to petition the Lord to please protect his devotee. When I see the updates, I get a sense that he's in his usual state of consciousness, and which is that he's absorbed in service, but the doctors keep on giving references to his increased requirements for oxygen, and inflammation in his lungs seems to be getting worse. I've not seen any indication, at least at this point, of any significant improvement. Anything can happen, and certainly your prayers for him and for so many other devotees. I'll be honest with you, I get a little numb sometimes, because I'm always getting messages. This devotee's sick, this devotee has cancer, this devotee has left their body, and it's not always it's not all related to the pandemic. It's related to the temporary nature of the material world. And pandemic is only somehow just reminding us of the temporary nature of the material world. And for those who are thoughtful, philosophical, it's a good opportunity to increase remembrance of Krishna in whatever way possible. And certainly for devotees who are fully engaged in the service of the Lord, for them, as I have indicated in previous talks, for departed Vaishnavas, especially those when I was speaking about my godbrother Yasomati Nandan Prabhu in one talk. In their particular cases, their departure is painful more for us than for them. And there's something to be said about the pain of separation. And in fact, we've been speaking about it almost continuously for the last many months. There is a certain purification experience from the pains of separations from Vaishnavas, and it's not going to stop. It will continue. And of course, we do not wish to lose their association. And therefore, we are always, at least myself, I know that I have a big responsibility to myself to remember how deeply grateful I am to the association of Vaishnavas, so I do not run the risk of minimizing it. There's nothing even more painful than I have been forced to experience in the past, of knowing that I did not take advantage of a Vaishnava after they departed, and take advantage of the association of a Vaishnava after they departed. But depart, is the destination for all Vaishnavas. And but certainly we want to, as much as possible, glean the benefit of their association while they're still here. So we should always try to remember to appreciate the great gift which has been given to us by having the opportunity to have association of advanced Vaishnavas. Appreciate their what they have to offer us, and within the realm of their association and their example. I oftentimes quote that verse that pure devotional service, one of the characteristics is to recognize wherever genuine devotion exists and to praise it. Why do we have to wait for somebody to depart before we praise it? That always baffles me. Somehow it's a mystery that I've always had to come to grips with. Why do we have to wait for somebody to depart before we praise them? Our tongue should be decorated with recognizing the wonderful qualities that are manifest in devotees who've dedicated their lives to chanting the holy name of the Lord, dedicated their lives to service to Srila Prabhupada's mission, who've dedicated their lives in so many respects. And Srila Prabhupada would oftentimes speak about this point many times, that they have given everything up for me. He would point that out to the foolish rascals who would minimize his disciples and followers, saying that, oh, they are not exalted, they are not in any way exemplary. And Prabhupada would always simply take notice, but they've given everything up for the service of Guru and Krishna. Therefore, they are exalted. So we should see that and appreciate it, and always keep ourselves prepared for what will come, which is inevitable for all of us. And I guess I want to take this opportunity to express my appreciation to all the devotees who very faithfully have been hearing from Srila Sanatana Goswami from the pages of Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, to my god brothers and god sisters, especially, whose association is more dear to me than I can possibly describe. And I have so many god brothers and god sisters who've really exemplify what Prabhupada would oftentimes describe about his disciples. And they're not just here on the monitor today, but they're in many places throughout the world. And they certainly manifest in such great devotees as Pankajangri Prabhu. And please keep them in your thoughts and in your prayers, and whatever we can possibly do to petition the Lord, whatever we may have in our hearts to petition the Lord to allow him to remain in our association, we should try to do. That was spontaneous. I wasn't even going to make an announcement, but it came to my mind that I should say something about Pankajangri Prabhu. And today's announcement that I received is that the doctors are considering possibly bringing him back from Calcutta to Mayapur so that the devotees can render, especially the physicians here in Mayapur, they can practically do the same thing that's being done for him in Calcutta at this time. So that was the last I heard this morning. And there are other devotees who could be named, but I think I'll stop there. I think you caught the sense of what I'm feeling. And now we'll begin with Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And I think one thing I do want to say, when I become numb, I don't want in any way to take that mean that I become indifferent. Numb means that it's just happening too often, and for instance, I've been getting repeated reports about, many of you know Divya, Sarvatma's wife, Divya, very, very, very wonderful devotee. And she also has cancer. She's undergoing chemotherapy now, and she's in good spirits. And so that's another. I just can't begin to tell you. The more people you know, it seems like the more messages you get about somebody who's either sick, going through surgery, has cancer, or preparing to leave their body. And that's what I meant when I'm saying I'm getting numb. It's a frequent occurrence. And it's just a helpful reminder. It's just a helpful reminder ourselves. Ahanya hani bhutani ganchati amalyam. Prabhupada would quote this verse, that the most amazing thing spoken by Yudhishthira Maharaj is that every day hundreds, thousands, and millions of living entities are being sent to the kingdom of death. But still, those who are remaining are looking for a way to live permanently in this world. And he says, what could be more amazing than this? So these are helpful reminders about our own situation, and helpful reminders about the unique glories of devotees of the Lord, and why we should always appreciate the great fortune which has been afforded to us to hear about their activities, to associate with them, and to remember them. So, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, we're reading volume 2, chapter 4. Today's text is 204. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tat Sarvanada Pikshena Kodosha Shyatarachane Katanchit Kriyamane Pi Mahalabho Pibhujyate. Translation. What then could be wrong with worshipping those forms, disregarding everything else? I would think that no matter how this was done, it would bring great benefit. Commentary. Why should the Lord's devotee be criticized for neglecting other spiritual disciplines, dharma, karma, yoga, and so on, to worship the Lord's Archa Vigraha? It seems logical that he should gain greatly by such dedication, since all the other devotional practices are included in the worship of the deity. I'm going to read the next verse also. Tata katam puranebhya shuyante tad utkaya uktaya apramanam chata nasyur mahanmukha vinishita. Translation. But why, therefore, do we hear differing opinions about this from the Puranas? The Puranic statements, coming as they do from the mouths of exalted souls, cannot be less than authoritative. Commentary. Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas make comments that apparently deprecate the value of deity worship. For example, Archayam eva hariye pujam ya shradhaye hate natad bhakteshu chanyeshu sabhakta prakrita smritaha. A devotee who faithfully engages in worshiping the deity in the temple, but does not behave properly toward other devotees or people in general, is called a prakrita bhakta, a materialistic devotee, and is considered to be in the lowest position. Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 2nd chapter, 47th verse. Another verse quoted in the commentary, Yo mam saveshu bhuteshu santam atmanam ishwaram hitvar cham bhajate maudyad pasmanyeva johoti saha. One who worships the deity of Godhead in the temples, but does not know that the Supreme Lord, as Paramatma, is situated in every living entity's heart, must be in ignorance and is compared to one who offers oblations into ashes. That is from the 3rd canto of the Bhagavatam, 29th chapter, 22nd verse. And another verse. All these verses, remember, are given by Sanatana Goswami as evidence from the Puranas, from the mouth of Shukadev Goswami, who is certainly authoritative, and who seem to be somehow speaking in the word is used here as deprecating the value of deity worship. And therefore, the question which Gopakumara is bringing to Narada Muni is, what's wrong? Is it, if you, all of these descriptions you've been giving about the Lord's presence in his deity form, why are such statements being made? Can you please clarify why such statements are made about people who worship the deities as being inferior? And the answer to this probably won't even come completely. Why? Because there's more to come. But It won't come completely today, and but we'll touch on it. But please try to remember or to remain focused in Gopakumara's question to Narada Muni, because this will be a topic which we will elaborate on as once we finish this commentary, and I'll finish the commentary first. Next verse. Aham ucha vachaya drivyai kriyayot panana yanaghe naiva tushe shito richayam bhuta grama vamaninaha. My dear mother, even if a person worships me with proper rituals and paraphernalia, if he is ignorant of my presence in all living entities, he never pleases me by the worship of my deities in the temple. This is Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 29th chapter, 24th verse. So 3 verses have been cited, which apparently deprecate the value of deity worship. To continue with the commentary. These and other statements of Shastra, such as Pratima Manda Bhutinam, which means the deity is meant for persons who are less intelligent, come from the mouths of great sages. And the verses cited above are the Supreme Lord's own words, retold from the mouth of Sri Shukadev. As a matter of principle, the words of trustworthy authorities, such as the Lord and his pure devotees, should be accepted as true. Therefore, Gopakumar is puzzled. Any knowledgeable person would surely agree that the deity forms of the Lord, like Sri Sankarshana and others that appear on the various varshas of Burloka, including the deities of Sri Ranganath and Jagannath in their transcendental cities on earth, are directly the personality of Godhead and should be worshipped with faith. But the words pratima, which means image or statue, and acha, which is a worshipped deity, are often used in scripture to criticize the narrow vision of immature devotees. And these special incarnations of the Supreme Lord, Sankarshana, Ranganath, and Jagannath, also present themselves as pratima and archa. Does this mean that they are inferior forms? Gopakumara hopes that Narada will clear up this doubt. We all hope that Narada will clear up this doubt, which he will, as he always does. Om Jnana Timarandasya Garanjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Mangayati Garim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavari Pastyachade Satarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sri Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Previous verse, I always like to go back at least one or two verses to keep continuity. Previous verse, we read, the one personality of Godhead, whose body is always Satchidananda, mercifully enacts the pastime of being present in various places, in various forms. And verse before that, Gopakumar said how he asked Narada, my Lord, divine deity, forms of the Supreme Godhead, like Lord Purushottam, the master of Niladri, are present on earth, and you consider them embodiments of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. So, last class, we spoke about Lord Jagannath. Yes. And we were reading Gopakumar's early encounter with Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri. And we specifically read those verses as an attempt to refresh our memories about the verses already spoken by Narada Muni in this chapter, how the Lord is manifest in these playful forms as the deities in these various places, and such as in Jagannath Puri, and how he engages in his pastimes there, and the obvious emphasis which has been placed on each of these forms is that they are Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. They are eternal manifestations of the Lord, and they are not some temporary form. And not only are they eternal manifestations, but worship of them is also eternal activity. It is Nitya Dhamma, not Naimatika Dhamma, or temporary worship of a form of worship according to temporary situation. In fact, we had previously read a section from Jaiva Dhamma where the question was asked, well, if the Lord is eternal, how is it we use temporary things for eternal worship, such as paraphernalia, which is temporary, and such as a form of the deity, which is temporary, and this question was particularly asked in Jaiva Dhamma, and we read it from it before by explaining that the form that the Lord accepts is not a temporary form; it's an eternal form, and when one worships the Lord in the right consciousness, understanding how the Lord is personally manifested in that form, then whatever paraphernalia one uses, whatever form the Lord assumes in that worship, is all eternal, because one's consciousness is fixed in eternal service to the Lord, in that form of the Lord. And one sees the Lord fully present in that form, and therefore, being fixed in that state of consciousness, one is in purified consciousness. And in fact, what Narada Muni is going to explain, as we said, these verses will be coming, is that none of the verses we just read apply to someone who's in that consciousness. They apply to somebody who's not in the right consciousness. Because one who's in the right consciousness, he's engaged in Nitya Seva. And the fruit of his worship will continue in Nitya Seva, because as we've already repeatedly said, that those who worship in this consciousness attain the fruit of that worship when they achieve their next destination. There's no gap. There's no temporary setback in their efforts. Their immediate next destination is that which they've already achieved through their worship. And therefore, just as Prabhupada says in the example of Dhruva Maharaj, for them, it's like death for them is like lightning and illumination. He says they take place simultaneously. There's no having to go through any temporary setback towards his next destination. He just simply continues doing that which he's already doing. And so Narada Muni is going to explain that what is the proper worship, what is the proper consciousness. And those verses, as we said, will be coming probably in next class. And he's also going to explain what is not the proper consciousness. And he's going to specifically attribute these verses which are cited, which Gopakumar is referring to. He's saying, these are authorized statements by liberated souls, Shukadev Goswami and others in the Puranas, that seem to deprecate worship of deities. Why do such statements exist? And the reason why they exist is because there are worshippers of the deity who see the deity, but don't recognize the presence of the Lord in the heart of all living entities. And therefore, their worship is faulty. And these verses is exactly what we just read, especially the verse Archayam Evaharaye Pujam Ya Shrari Yeyate, a devotee who faithfully engages in worshiping the deity in the temple, but does not behave properly toward other devotees or people in general is called the Prakrita Bhakta, materialistic devotee. It's considered to be in the lowest position. And I'm going to read ahead just the verses themselves. Forgive me, I do this sometimes. Just the verses themselves. In fact, one of the verses I'm reading has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 page commentary. I'm not going to read it. That will come whenever we get to the verse. But just to emphasize this point that we just made, that Narada Muni is telling Gopakumar in this verse, this is verses 213 through 215. He says, there are others, however, who concoct some new image and call it Lord Hari, but who actually see that form as different from the Lord. They worship with the idea that the deity is no more than stone or some other material substance, and they respect neither the devotees of Lord Hari nor living beings in general. Proud of their worship, they transgressed the injunctions of the Vedas and the Lord. These foolish worshippers, the lowest of all the Lord's devotees, do not obtain the promised fruits of worship. Although the fruit of their worship of Hari is in itself greater than the results of all pious material activities, they do not gain the highest fruit they would have derived from proper devotional service to the Lord. In various scriptures, therefore, the best of saintly persons condemn such materialistic worship. When the Puranas and other scriptures make statements that belittle deity worship, you should understand that all such statements refer to those particular worshippers, not to all devotees. So this is Narada Muni's explanation that, wait a minute, these verses are not wholesale deprecation of worshippers of the Lord, who is fully manifest in these forms, in Satchidananda forms, and is fully reciprocating with those persons who worship him with great devotion. These verses don't apply to them. But these three verses we just read, it's to them which they apply. But Narada Muni is also going to bring hope for even those who still find themselves trapped in such consciousness. That, yes, there is a superior form of worship. There is a pure method of worship, which is performed by those who see the Lord manifest not only in the deity form, but in the hearts of all living entities, and what to speak of in the hearts of his devotees, and in the activities of his devotees who worship him with love. They see him there. So if they're not yet there, Narada Muni is going to explain it's okay. That's where they're at, and we should not. We should encourage them. They can maintain hope, as long as they remain steady in their worship and don't give it up. That in due course of time, by the mercy of those same Vaishnavas who they haven't been able to fully appreciate yet, someday they will appreciate, by their mercy, the great benefits of the seva they are performing. And the Lord will also, from within their hearts, not only in their own hearts, the hearts of the worshippers, but in the hearts of those Vaishnavas who are being very merciful to them, will help them to see, will help them to come to a higher level of consciousness. And that is their hope. And therefore, if they remain steady in the execution of their worship, Narada Muni will explain in detail, and we'll get to those points. Don't send it for devotees who are sending in questions to me from the website. Don't ask questions about this yet. There's more to come. And because I've already got some questions about what's about to come. So these will be outlined in detail by Narada Muni to Gopakumar. That benefit will come for those who remain steady. Now, it's 5:30. I had some verses because I wanted to read some very nice verses, speak a little bit about them, because we're talking about specifically the Prakriti Bhaktas, materialistic devotees who are described in the third canto of the Bhagavatam as separatists and who think that their worship is superior to all others, who cannot appreciate the worship of others, and cannot appreciate the qualities of more advanced devotees, who find fault or criticize. And there's about 10 verses in Madhya Kanda of Chaitanya Bhagavat where Vrindavan Das Thakur gives evidence which are essentially from the same verses we just read in this purport about Prakriti Bhaktas. And where Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his usual style, he doesn't, he really makes it clear that the defect that exists in the consciousness of such worshippers. Now, of course, he's cutting, and as he is known to be. But that's why I prefaced these verses I'm about to read in Chaitanya Bhagavat with hope, with the verses spoken by Narada Muni to Gopakumar, that don't worry, if you find yourself still trapped in this kind of consciousness, at least know there's a way out. There is a way out. We should always have hope. There's a way out of materialistic consciousness. That should always be there. And the hope is both by the power of devotional service itself, by the presence of the Lord in the heart, who is always eager to help, and by the presence on this planet of merciful Vaishnavas, who are always kind and merciful, and by the statements of our previous acharyas, who we've also indicated, quoting in the past, who are ready to make themselves available to those who remember them and pray to them and worship them. You know, the deity is ready to make himself available. Previous acharyas are ready to make themselves available. The merciful Vaishnavas are ready to make themselves available. And the Lord in the heart is ready to make himself available. And there's a lot of help. There's a lot of help. No one should ever feel alone and condemned. As long as Hari, Guru, Vaishnavas are manifest, there's hope. But we should be aware that there's pitfalls. And if we're aware of the pitfalls, then at least by being aware of them, as with any other statements which are given in Shastra about the dangers of offenses, about the dangers of offenses to Vaishnavas, dangers of offenses towards, and we'll even read it today, towards all living entities, and dangers of causing harm, envy of other living entities, and there's a lot of dangers that we'll have to come to grips with as we make progress in Krishna consciousness. But to be aware of them is good. It's not meant to become overwhelmingly self-deprecating because we're not there, but it's meant to remind us there's something higher. And that's what we're supposed to be always trying to reach for. And although we may feel incapable of obtaining it by our own strength, we should know the Lord in the heart, merciful Vaishnavas, previous acharyas, and the Lord who's manifest in the form of the deity. They're all available to the sincere devotees for help. And as long as we have access, then there's certainly hope, and at least we should know what to pray for. We oftentimes quote Namaparada yukta naman yeva haranchigam avrishyati prayuktani tanyavata kitani cha, that the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is recommended for those who are committing offenses. Because as long as one goes on chanting Hare Krishna, then gradually he'll become free from offenses. How does he gradually become free from offenses? He gradually becomes free from offenses because he's conscious of the fact, he knows what his shortcomings are. Krishna is so kind, he repeatedly shows what they are. Vaishnavas are so kind that they're like mirrors, that they oftentimes in their presence, they're just like mirrors. They reflect back to ourselves. What we see in them is actually because it's in ourselves. And we don't want to look in ourselves because it's more convenient to see it in them. But they're very merciful, and they'll help us to see what's in our own hearts. If we take advantage of their association, that if one goes on chanting Hare Krishna, knowing that these obstacles exist in the heart, and knowing, as we very elaborately spoke about last Sunday in our question and answer session, knowing that they cannot be gotten rid of by any efforts by ourselves alone. It's not possible. And this is the point that's always brought out to light, is that the devotee knows that without obtaining strength from a source greater than himself, it's not possible to overcome these obstacles and nartas within the heart. So with that understanding, the devotee goes on and knowing that gradually all of these obstacles will be eradicated from within the heart, because he has that much faith he keeps in his heart. That much faith, as fallen as I am, as lusty as I am, as angry as I become filled with see so many bad qualities in myself. As fallen as I am, I have hope still, by the power of the holy name, by the power of Vaishnavas, and by the presence of the Lord in my heart. Therefore, I won't give up. So it's helpful to know what these descriptions are given by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta in Chaitanya Bhagavat. And I'll be honest with you, I've spent so much time prefacing the verses that I think I've run out of time. And I do have to get up, or I run the risk of paying a price. And I've been experiencing some gradual improvement because I've been very strict with myself. And I'm going to get up and I'll start reading some of these verses today. I may not finish them today, but I'll start reading some of the verses today. They're very, very powerful verses, powerful, because they specifically they speak about one who worships the deity, but doesn't respect my existence in the hearts of others. Not just Vaishnavas, but even all living entities. And the verses will explain what exactly the kind of consciousness this so-called worshipper has in his worship. It's the wrong consciousness. It's verses like this, which Gopakumar was specifically asking about. Why are there so many verses deprecating those who worship the deities? And we'll get to them. For those who have Chaitanya Bhagavat, it's in Madhya chapter 5, texts. Oh, it's 139 to 149, not 129 to 139. Madhya beginning text 139. I'm not going to read. I'm just going to read the English. Just as a foolish person who worships the feet of a Brahmin and then beats him in the head goes to hell, one who worships the deity form of Lord Vishnu and then disrespects that same Lord who is situated in the hearts of all living entities also goes to hell. Strong statement. What to speak of being envious of Vaishnavas? If one causes pain to ordinary living entities, he is considered a fallen, low-class person, even after worshipping Lord Vishnu. If a person gives trouble to other living entities, his worship becomes fruitless. Such a person suffers unlimited miseries. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, if a person is knowingly or unknowingly envious of a Vaishnava engaged in the non-duplicitous service of Lord Hari, his degradation is inevitable. Of this there is no doubt. Apart from this, if even persons claiming to be devotees of Vishnu are envious of ordinary living entities and give various troubles to them, they are actually far away from devotional service to Vishnu and are not fit to be called human beings. Their worship of Vishnu becomes the source of misery. Those endowed with an absence of jiva doya, or compassion to other living entities, and yet proudly consider themselves servants of Lord Vishnu, achieve the threefold miseries rather than the devotional service of the Lord. Next text. The worship performed by persons who do not know that Lord Vishnu is present within the heart of every living entity is certainly materialistic. Their worship is like someone who washes the feet of a Brahmin with one hand and beats him on the head with his other hand. Consider carefully Have such persons ever been benefited? Or will they ever be benefited? It is 100 times more sinful to blaspheme a Vaishnava than to be envious of ordinary living entities. Those who faithfully worship the deity form of the Lord, but do not respect the Lord's devotees, those who do not show compassion to those who are foolish, wretched, and fallen, those who worship one incarnation of the Lord and do not worship other incarnations, those who discriminate between Krishna and Ramachandra, and those who have no love for Balaram and Shiva are, according to the scriptures, the lowest of all devotees. Interesting. I'm going to read the commentary. I may not have so much time for elaborating on this, but Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur really does a good job of it himself. So, commentary. Those who faithfully worship the Supreme Lord, but do not worship the devotees engaged in his service and inseparably related to him, those who do not display mercy by instructing the fallen souls bereft of the Lord's service, and those who do not display mercy by giving up the association of atheists averse to the Lord, are described by the scriptures as low-class persons devoid of devotion. In other words, what he has described here is the characteristic of a Majjhima Bhakta. Majjhima Bhakta, he worships the Lord, but in addition to worshiping and has love for the Lord, he has friendship with all Vaishnavas. He is compassionate to forgetful living entities. And he's compassionate even to the atheists by avoiding them. So that's what he's speaking about. If worshippers of Ram envy devotees of Krishna, or if so-called devotees of Krishna blaspheme worshippers of Sri Rama Sita, then they should not be counted as devotees, but as low-class persons. Lord Vishnu resides in innumerable Vaikuntha planets. The reason why I'm reading about this is it's so connected to Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Lord Vishnu resides in innumerable Vaikuntha planets in his various eternal forms. Those who have no faith in the existence of that Vishnu or in his devotees are fit to be called adhama, or low class. The worship of those who blaspheme servants of the Lord, like Lord Baladev, blaspheme servants of the Lord like Baladev, Lakshmi, Garuda, Vayu, and Rudra, is incomplete. That is why the Srimad Bhagavatam 11-47, which is the verse we just read in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, declares that devotees situated on the platform of Kanishta Adhikari are eligible to fall down into material existence as follows. Archayam eva haraye pujam yashraraye yate natad bhakteshu chanyeshu sabhakta prakrita smitaha. A devotee who faithfully engages in the worship of the deity in the temple, but does not behave properly toward other devotees or people in general, is called a prakrita bhakta, a materialistic devotee, and is considered to be in the lowest position. There are two kinds of Vaishnavas: ordinary or unauthorized Vaishnavas, and pure are authorized Vaishnavas. The Vishnu Swami Sampradaya originated from Rudradev. The Sri Madhava Sampradaya originated from Brahma. The Ramanuja Sampradaya originated from Sri Lakshmi Devi. And the Nimbarka Sampradaya originated from the four Kumaras. If someone respects one and blasphemes another by taking into consideration their mutual disagreements, then he certainly falls from the platform of Kanishta Adhikara. All the demigods and demigoddesses pass their time fulfilling their responsibility of serving the Lord. And their entrusted positions are known to this world. Yet, their constitutional position as Vaishnavas is not lost. If one out of material conceptions disrespects the demigods and demigoddesses, he cannot have devotion to Vishnu. If one accepts the spiritual masters or the demigods and demigoddesses to be devoid of devotion to Vishnu, then he commits offense. But by worshiping the entrusted positions of the demigods and demigoddesses, and thereby forgetting the service of Krishna, one cannot achieve any benefit. In other words, he's making the point. If you disrespect the demigods and don't see that what they're doing, just today, one person was asking a question at Prabhupada in class. The devotee was asking the question of who is Maya? And Prabhupada's answer, he was glorifying Maya. He's glorifying Maya for her service. He says, Maya, she's a great devotee of Krishna. And she says, she's doing, I can't remember the kind of service, he just described it as, he used an adjective, but somehow I can't remember the adjective he used. And he said, he gave the example, he said, just like a policeman, sometimes he has to, thankless, yes, that's a good one, thankless task. I don't think that's what he used, but that's a good one, because Prabhupada does use that in other places. The thankless task. And Prabhupada was giving the example of the policeman, sometimes he has to come in and he causes disturbance in the minds of the persons. He says, who do they cause disturbance to? He said, cause disturbance to the minds of the persons who are not following the law. He said, but for the persons who are following the law, there's no disturbance by the presence of the policeman. So it says, similarly, Maya, she's doing the thankless service of rendering service. She's a very good devotee, rendering service to the Lord. And we should always appreciate her service. And we should not be foolish like the people who are not following the laws and see the policemen as threats. We should not be similarly foolish to the laws of God. And it was a very detailed answer Prabhupada gave to the question about who is Maya. Same point. So we respect Maya, but if we worship her for some material gain, then that's the point he's making here. He says, but by worshiping the entrusted positions of the demigods and demigoddesses, and thereby forgetting the service of Krishna, one cannot achieve any benefit. That is why Thakur Narottam has said, Hrishike Govinda Seva na Pujiba Devi Deva Eta Ananya Bhakti Kata. I will engage my senses in the service of Govinda, and I will not worship the demigods. This is the description of unalloyed devotional service. Becoming unalloyed in the service of the Lord does not entail blasphemy of the demigods. All the demigods and demigoddesses are under the shelter of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, worship of the demigods is automatically performed simply by serving the Supreme Lord. If one worships a particular demigod or demigoddess, then other demigods and demigoddesses become displeased. But if one worships the Supreme Lord, then all the demigods who are subordinate to the Supreme Lord are automatically worshipped. Blasphemy of a Vaishnava is hundreds of times more severe than blasphemy of an ordinary living entity. Therefore, no intelligent person should tread such a path. There's a lot there. I could give another class on this commentary in of itself, which I'm going to, as I said, I'll let you take it as in face value, as spoken by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that we should be very careful not to follow in the materialistic method of worship, the deity of Lord Vishnu, and at the same time disrespect Vaishnavas, those who are servants of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. We should see all these Vaishnavas in their particular roles as serving the Lord. We should not blaspheme them. We should not blaspheme them for their method of worship. We should not. We should, even though we may see differences, and of course, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta specifically is speaking about those who are engaged in authorized worship. But if they are engaged in unauthorized worship, then to point out what is unauthorized worship is not criticism in of itself, but it's not criticizing them, it's simply criticizing what is unauthorized worship, as Prabhupada would so many times do. We all know how Prabhupada would do that many times when devotees would ask Prabhupada the question, what about so-and-so? What about this guru, this Swami? And Prabhupada would say, oh, what is his philosophy? And then they would say what his philosophy is. And without criticizing, although sometimes in private assemblies, Prabhupada would speak quite harshly about some of these rascals. But generally, he would say, what is his philosophy? And then when he'd hear the philosophy, he would tear it apart and show how the philosophy is so wrong. Why? Because it's not focused on worship of the Supreme Lord. It's simply focused on mundane welfare activities. It's focused on so many other sub-religious principles. And Prabhupada would not be afraid whatsoever to call it out under those circumstances. So in the same way, we should be very careful to not criticize those, especially here it was described those who worship Lord Ramachandra, those who worship Lord Krishna. They should not criticize, even though they may see differently and they may worship differently. We don't see any examples of Lord Chaitanya and Chaitanya Charitamrita speaking critically of those who are worshippers of Lord Ramachandra, those who are Narayan, although he did help them in some cases, like Venkatabhata, he helped them to come to the preferred method of worship, which he himself came to teach. And but still, you will not see criticism of those who are engaged in these other forms of worship. And that is the same point that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is bringing out in this commentary. And then he ends by saying, blasphemy of a Vaishnava is hundreds of times more severe than blasphemy of an ordinary living entity. Therefore, no intelligent person should tread such a path Someone may say, how do you blaspheme an ordinary living entity? I've spoken on this point many times by giving evidence by Srila Jiva Goswami in the Bhakti Sindarbha, where he describes that blasphemy of an ordinary living entity is to willingly cause pain to them, willingly, knowingly. And why? Because, again, same thing, Lord is in the heart. If we do not see the Lord in the heart, and then we willingly try to cause pain to them or cause suffering to them in whatever way we do, then he describes that as disrespect of all living entities. And I've expanded on that many times in previous classes, and I won't go into that so much today. But it's still possible to disrespect all living entities in this way by consciously, deliberately causing them pain for no other reason than the satisfaction to see them in pain. Like example we've used, like Magari, the hunter. And he was told by Narada Muni, why you half killing them? Better you kill them than half kill them. If you half kill them, you're just putting them into so much pain. If you kill them, at least you've killed them and they're going on to the next destination. But why half kill them? Why deliberately cause pain? And Narada Muni, being very kind to Magari the hunter, he warned him that when you half kill, when you willingly cause pain to another living entity, you're going to get some karmic reactions which are going to be very painful to you. And then Magari, as we know, he realized, well, I shouldn't want. I should try to avoid. He had some faith in the words of Narada Muni. So he realized, well, how do I avoid this pain? How do I avoid this suffering? So then Narada Muni instructed him what to do. So we'll end here with class, and I have a little time to chant a little Japa. And did I finish the verses? Oh, there was one more verse, text 149. A devotee who faithfully engages in the worship of the deity in the temple, but does not behave properly toward other devotees or people in general, is called a prakrita bhakta, a materialistic devotee, and is considered to be in the lowest position. That is text 149, Majjhikanda, chapter 5. And these verses will be elaborated on in future verses in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita to help us understand how to become free from this this mentality of the lower consciousness in one's method of worship of the Lord. So, thank you very much. We'll end here, and we'll chant some japa together. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Thank you very much, dear devotees. We will end our class here, and we will resume on Monday at the same time on Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And tomorrow morning, we also have class at 10 o'clock for the Russian-speaking devotees. And that will be at the usual time, although we'll probably be reading from Brihad Bhagavatamrita tomorrow. So let us end here. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Rama
Ram
Hari
Ram,
Rama Rama Rama
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hari
Hare
Rama 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 Hari
Ram
Hari
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram,
Rama Hari Rama Rama Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama Hari
Krishna,
Rama Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Hari
Ram,
Hari.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
This is
Hare
Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna, Hare
Hey.
Hare.
Jai